So back-to-back home games coming up over the next few days. Is this a good opportunity to try and extend your lead at the top of the table if you can?
Yeah, definitely. We've done all right at home this season, and we look just to build on it again. It doesn't matter home or away really, but especially on our patch, the way we want our pitch and we want everything done properly here, and we feel it's an advantage for us to play the football we want to play. But as I say, home or away, you've seen Aldershot come here make it difficult. Barnet made it difficult at times, and Gateshead will be no different. So it'll be a tough game, but we're happy to be home.
Is there more to come from this group, do you feel?
100%. I've said it through the week with the manager and the staff. I think we've got loads more in the tank. As I say, I don't want to keep saying it because we're a month in or whatever, but there's still a new young group. I feel we're getting better on the training ground. We're getting to know the patterns and the shape better, and hopefully that can only move on to the pitch. And I think you see we're creating so many chances and so many box entries and so many opportunities for our forwards and wing backs. We probably should be scoring more goals, in all honesty, but we can't be too greedy, and we're going okay at the minute.
Jack Clark and Calvin Miller were given their first starts of the season on Saturday against Oldham, and they've obviously not been involved too much. But does that just show that if a player can be out of the squad one week and then called upon the week after?
Yeah, well, I think I spoke to you about 2 weeks ago, and I said about the training group before was it the Barnet game maybe, or possibly one of the other games, and I said it's a testament to the lads who were out the team, the way they trained, the day they wasn't involved in the squad, and that just sums it up by Calvin and Jack coming into the team and the team looking no different. I thought the pair of them applied themselves spot on, immaculate they was. Both contributed to the win massively, and got good minutes, which shows the fitness when you're out the team at the minute. It's tough. The lads who are out the team always work harder because the other lads are obviously getting minutes in the games. So they come in, and the pair of them can be proud of themselves. We were proud of them. We didn't expect to get as much minutes out of the both of them, but they worked the socks off. The data's the physical data's was spot on, and it just shows anyone can come in this team, and as the manager's always said, the job spec the same. The personnel will change, but the job spec is always the same, and we train that way, and they've come in and took the place brilliantly.
Did they both come through the game okay, injury-wise?
Yeah, Calvin got cramp, which is, we suspect that. He was a bit ill. Was it last week or the week before last? He had a couple of days ill, and he hasn't played too many minutes. He had a little slight injury as well, which cleared up. So Calvin, it was understandable. But the time he was on the pitch, he was immense. He played the position really well. He works so hard, and he's a threat. So really happy with him.
It was a debut as well for new signing Tim Akinola. It's not often that Arsenal probably loan out one of their young players to a National League side. Just tell us a little bit about how that one came about.
Just been identified with our recruitment team. Identified the type of player what we wanted to bring in the building, and it's been going on for a little bit. We felt we needed a little bit of steel in the middle of the pitch, a little bit more energy, because we've got four terrific players in there. Mike Jones, Ollie Banks, DJ, Wheelo, lovely footballers, but I think Timmy brings something a little bit different, as well as being a good footballer, and I think he shown that on Saturday when he come on the pitch. This league's going to get tough, especially the winter months, and we think we've had another little bit of a string to our bow by bringing Timmy in.
And clearly you must feel that he's capable of stepping up from making that next step from under-23s football then to proper men's first team football.
Yeah, well, it's quite tricky bringing a 23s player in, like, especially if some people bring 23. I've watched hundreds of 23 games, and to sign a centre half from 23 football is quite difficult because they don't head the ball very often. Everything's on the floor and playing through the line. So we identified them, we watched them. We knew he was physically fine. He can handle a man's game. What can you say? It's not a man's game no more. He can handle proper men's football because he's obviously been at 23. So he can handle the physical aspect of it. He's quick, he's strong, and he handles the ball. He's a typical Arsenal player, but for us to get him, it's a real coup.
Would you like to add any more if you can? Bring anyone else in?
That's one for the manager. He'll probably say yeah, but no, we're really comfortable with the group. Did a good place the squad. I think we're okay. If one maybe comes in, one maybe more, it might happen. But at the minute, we're really happy with all of the boys.
There was no Kwasi Asante or Armando Dobber either at Oldham. How are they getting on with their recoveries from injury?
Okay, yeah. We thought maybe one of them might have been a little bit quicker than the other, but no, they're pretty much the same time frame. You got to be careful with injuries. We know that. We lost a lot of players last year by probably bringing them back a little bit too soon. So we've got to manage these people, especially Kwaz. Kwaz is 30 now. Once you get to around that age, your body needs a little bit more care. So we'll monitor him really, really closely, especially his games, his 3-game weeks. We've maybe been a little bit greedy with him, with the games so tight together. But he's playing so well and he wants to get on the pitch. Any player says to us that he's not 100%, he don't play. That's the manager's philosophy here. He'd never put a player under risk. So just monitor the pair of them. 2 good players, but as you see, Calvin Miller and Jack Clark come in and done really well, and just shows the squad and how ready they are to play.
Do you have a time frame on when we might see Asante or Dobber again?
We haven't really put one on it. It's not they're not long-term injuries. It's nothing like that. But we won't rush them. There'll be no rush. Hopefully, they probably won't make Saturday, but there'll be no rush.
Joe Quigley's getting a lot of plaudits recently, and rightly so. Do you think he could play up front with Cabby, or are you just sort of set on the one striker, or just a lot of people asking now, could they play together or could they play in the same team? What's sort of your thoughts on that? Well,
they played together at Altrincham for a long time. And we probably don't have the same patterns as we'd like with 2 up front. So that's down to the coaching staff and the manager as well to possibly work on it a little bit when it does happen. But as you know, the manager's a one striker in his team. But you're not saying they'll never play 2 at all, because we will. We've got 2 terrific strikers. We've got 3 brilliant strikers who bring up 3 of them bring all different things. So not saying they'll never play it, but his preferred formation is 4-2-3-1, and the one is Joe at the minute, and he's doing brilliant. I think he's enjoying the responsibility of leading the line on his own, and hopefully when Cabby comes back, he'll do that role just as good.
Yeah, how much are you enjoying working with Joe? Because obviously he seems to be full of confidence at the minute, and the fans were singing his name throughout at Oldham on Saturday as well. And, he must be really high at the minute.
Yeah, it's the same. I think I said to you, Liam, when about 4 or 5 weeks ago maybe, Joe Quigley's a big asset for this club. This is before I think the season started maybe. He's a big asset for the club. I said his confidence was a little bit shot last year when he come in, and as I say, he had big boots to fill with Cabs when Cabs took a knock. This year's come back, and confidence is a huge thing in football. It's a massive thing. I've been there when you're full of confidence and when you've got no confidence. It's the easiest thing to lose and the hardest thing to get. And at the minute, he's full of confidence. He's leading the line brilliantly, especially for our three behind him. He's the foil for them three, and hope that continues because he looks so happy on the pitch, and he's a big part of our club.
Gateshead next up on Saturday. What are you expecting from them?
Really tough test. I know I said this last week. This is a really tough test for us. I watched Gateshead last week at Wrexham. We seen them give Notts County a real tough time. They possibly should have won the game at Notts County when they played them at home, and they won quite comfortable on the weekend. They're a good team. Real big threats. They run through your lines. With Blackett up front, who's got energy and pace, can finish. He's a big threat. Really big threat. Harrison Campbell, who will support him, will play quite narrow and run through your lines. We think we know what's coming with them because they're a really good team. Got loads of energy, got some real ball players in the middle of the pitch, and he'll cause us problems. That's undoubtedly. You'll see Gateshead will open us up at times. I feel like I'm on repeat, but on the flip side, we feel like we can hit Gateshead. We'll need to look after the ball quite well because they will hit you on the break. The striker's really lively. You'll see Blackett on the weekend. I studying the league and studying the teams. He jumps out as one of the best strikers for me, what I've seen up to date in this league. So we'll have our hands full Saturday, and we're looking forward to a good game.
Yeah, by all accounts, they like to play some nice football. So is that the sort of type of game you're expecting, sort of two footballing sides rather than like a big physical test, if you like?
They can do a bit of both, to be honest. I think they're a bit similar to ourselves. They can play through the thirds, or they can hit you quickly with the pace up the top end of the pitch. So they've got a bit of both. They can play because they have got some good ball players in the middle of the pitch. Ollie, the number 10, who's a really good player, handles the ball really well, spots passes, and they've got real pace up front. They're a threat. They are a big threat. They're a live threat, and we'll work on them today and tomorrow. The lads are back in a good place. All the energy's back in them, and we'll be ready.